Okay, so let's go over and let's get the pointer here. Let's go over the webinar funnel overview and let's set up your custom conversions. So it's actually a very simple funnel. It's only a 3-page funnel. So first you're going to have your Facebook ad, which is going to direct to your blog post, which is really your opt-in page. Then you're going to have your webinar casting room, and then you're going to have the page where your affiliates and customers can purchase the Legal Shield service. So here's how this goes. We've set up the Facebook pixel, which means any ad that we run, it automatically has the pixel code. So we're going to do what's called seasoning the Facebook pixel, where the longer you let the Facebook ads run, the smarter your Facebook pixel becomes, and the more likely it is to target people who start converting in your funnel, right? So what's going to happen is right here we're measuring clicks. So what happens is they click, and now boom, they're in the blog. The pixel, that's what this red asterisk is, the pixel fires. They are in the blog. This is the opt-in page. Now, what happens once they opt in is they get to the webinar room. And after they watch the webinar, they can then click and go to your Legal Shield page and get started in the black box business. So we have a few other things here on the screen. A stands for audience. So we're going to build a custom audience in the next video. But in this video, we're going to concentrate on custom conversions, right? So what's a custom conversion? Well, eventually, to start off, we may want to run a traffic campaign. Then we're going to want to run a conversions campaign. And a conversion is basically, if we're running a conversions campaign for people to hit the blog page, we need to first put the pixel on and then create a custom conversion that this is the blog page. And then we're going to tell Facebook, hey, we want to drive traffic to be a conversion and convert for this page. However, this is only after they click from the ad to the opt-in page. What we really want to do is convert for webinar watchers or webinar registrants. So what we're going to do now, so is everyone following me here? We have a custom conversion on page 1. We also have an audience on page 1, right? So first we have an audience of people who clicked. Then we have an audience of people who made it to this page and at least spent, whether it's a second or, an hour. They've spent time with us on this page. So we're going to be building an audience of people who have hit the opt-in page, the blog page. And then we're going to be building an audience of people who have registered for the webinar. And we're going to call this webinar registrants as a custom conversion. We're also going to call the audience webinar registrants. And then we're going to call this blog readers, and we're going to call this blog readers. And then as we go down the line, once you have enough data here and enough data here, you can actually make what's called lookalike audiences. So let's actually go into the ad account and make the custom conversion. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to have your ClickFunnels open. So let's go to the blog article. And this is after you already integrate your domain name. So you're going to copy. What I always like to do just to be safe is copy this, put it in a new window like this. You don't have to worry about this excess code, right? And if we go back to ClickFunnels, it's dash blog article. So you just want to, as long as this part is correct, you're fine. Don't put the numbers or the extra code on. To be honest, I don't know why ClickFunnels does this. We're going to copy this, and now we're going to go into our custom conversions. I already have the webinar registrant set up, but I'll show you this one. We're going to go to create custom conversions. Oh, by the way, to get to here, we click the 3 lines. We go to all tools, measure and report, custom conversions. Boom. And then this will refresh. Create custom conversion. Okay. Make sure it's your pixel. You can call it black box too. That's fine. Rule number 1. URL. You always want to do URL contains. Equals. Just don't do it. It's best practice to always do URL contains. So So the URL contains blog article, right? Because if we did URL equals, it would need to have that code on, and that code can change at any time. That not 943 or whatever. So anyway, now what is this? If someone hits this, they are a blog reader, or hit landing page, you could call it. Hit landing page, right? They all mean the same thing. You want to name your stuff so that it makes sense. Just call it what it is. Don't call it ad set 1-2. Makes no sense. You need to be able to easily identify what everything is. So we'll just call this blog hits, because these are people who've hit the blog. Now what is this? This would be, it's not a lead yet. It's more of just a view content. And value, don't worry about that. This is if you're getting into e-com. And if they hit the thank you page and they purchased a $50 product, then we would put $50 in, for example. But here it doesn't have any value yet. So we're going to click create. Done. I'll pull this up. And then as you can see, boom, that's my custom conversion. And then if we do the same thing here, whoops. Where do we want to go? We want to go back to ClickFunnels, to the webinar broadcast room, and we'll want to do the same thing here. Enter that in. Pause that. Okay. Now we're going to copy this URL. And again, we just copy it and paste it in the URL just to be safe. And this is for webinar registrants, right? Because if and only if they're watching the webinar, the only way for them to watch the webinar would be if they registered for the webinar. So we're going to call that webinar registrants. See? So I'm not going to remake it, but as you can see, it is the same link that I have copied. Have this copied. Go back to custom conversions. Boom. So that is how you do it. And let's see if we could send some test traffic here. No, but once we do, it'll go from gray to green. It's really that simple. This is how you set up custom conversions. The next thing that we're going to do in the next lesson is be able to track in our columns. That way we can keep track of our costs.